Hey there, everyone. I'm CCP Dolan here with CCP Falcon, bringing you the Expendables versus XXXMity. The Expendables banned out the Widow and the Slipnir, and XXXMity has banned out the Rook and the Tengu.
And we're just about to see what they have on the field now. And we have a triple Nighthawk setup for the Expendables, backed up by a Basilisk, a Saber, and 3 Merlins. And for XXXMity, we have a triple Oracle setup with a Loki, probably gang-linked, a Keres, 2 Keres in fact, a Hyena, and a Vigil.
So this is sort of a variant of a kite team. It's not nearly as fast as the Tengus, but it also can tank a ton of damage. Those Nighthawks are really tough, have the advantages of the currently unnerfed heavy missile launchers, which will be nerfed in the coming Retribution expansion. But these Oracles are just so dangerous. They're going to be hitting with EM directly into the Nighthawks' resist hull. And they have the range that unless these damps from these Merlins can really shut them down, they're just going to be pounding and pounding and pounding all day long.
Yeah, you can see there straight away the control bar for the Expendables going absolutely crazy. Damps on all 3 Oracles and both of the Keres, in fact, one of which is now dead.
So that was actually a really unfortunate loss. The Keres dropping so quickly. Of course, XXXMity has no logistics whatsoever. So in an extended fight, they're going to lose. These Nighthawks are going to be receiving a ton of reps with their super high resist. The Basilisk is going to be incredibly, incredibly effective.
Yeah, the Nighthawk, of course, the field command, I believe. Yeah, the field command, Kaldari battlecruiser, T2 battlecruiser.
And another ship that's very important in XXXMity setup is this Loki. This Loki is going to be fitting ganglinks, and it's going to be what they're relying upon to both keep out of control range of the tacklers for the Expendables team, and also it's going to be fit with long-range webs almost certainly in its mids. This means it's going to have a really buff armor tank, but it's going to be slow as molasses, and it's going to be able to really keep people off these Oracles. But the Nighthawks have such incredible range that I don't really know if they need to be on top of the Oracles to kill them.
No, I don't think they're going to need to be. You can see already there, the Hyena for XXXMity is taking a lot of damage. These Nighthawks obviously doing a hell of a lot of damage with heavy missile launches from range. The issue, of course, that they have is there's still 2 Merlins on the field, so all 3 of the...
Wow, look at the Oracle drop! Lost Limo is going to get... He just got in range of enough missiles, and he's getting pounded into the ground. Ooh, and he goes down.
Yeah.
So that's 1/3 of all of their DPS gone completely off the field. Something I'd like to point out, the Loki, flown by Wrathful Penguins. Wrathful Penguins is a pilot that forgot to turn on his damnation mind links when they lost 3 Malices last weekend. So... big losses. Hopefully he's remembered to turn on his links today. He does appear to be webbing effectively, so, but he will only have a very small amount of webs because he has to fit command processors into his mids to fit those 3 links.
Given the speed of those Oracles, I believe he probably has turned his skirmish links on this time around. Of course, those Oracles are probably pretty well kite fitted, I should imagine.
Damage already coming in
straight away
to the Oracle of Tofu Cake Prime. He's really in a lot of trouble. This is basically the match sealed. That's pretty much going to win it for Expendables. These Oracles just cannot break the tanks of these Nighthawks. They chose to come in with no logistics, and unless they were to win a match fast against some ships with really weak tanks, they were in trouble. Nighthawks, aside from maybe a battleship setup, no, yeah, I really like the Nighthawks for pretty much everything here. They have the range.
Yeah, they're pretty solid. I mean,
they have the tank. It's
to be
really
fair,
a nice setup.
Expendables really did a good job with this. They started out, they got the damps from the Merlins straight onto the Oracles, they negated the DPS immediately, and from there, you know, the XXXMity team really can't get in close. They're not going to do anything close range, so they have to stay out of range. And yeah, I mean, the Expendables can just dictate the fact that they just don't want to let them shoot.
So this Nighthawk setup, though, is a very risky setup. They don't have a lot of control on like a close-range rush team. If they were to come up against Sleipnirs, I think they'd lose. If they come up against Kronos, they're in a lot of trouble as well. I'm wondering if they just... XXXMity has fielded 2 Oracle teams out of their 3 matches. This is their 4th match, once again fielding an Oracle team. Do you think that they just didn't have the depth and setups? We haven't seen this Nighthawk setup before, all tournament long. Do you think they just weren't prepared for what Expendables can field and didn't have the depth that they needed?
I think that's exactly the case, and I think I would agree with you if XXXMity had brought a Sleipnir loadout and they'd have gone for that Basilisk, just rushed that Basilisk right off the start, then they could have spent the time picking off the Nighthawks from range, and they would have had a pretty decent shot at it.
Even then, if they had the logistics, the Nighthawks just don't have the DPS.
Yeah,
beat
I
an
agree
ASB
completely.
and logistics, they would have had a fighting chance. Now we see the final Loki on the field. No damage available for Loki that only fits links. And that's going to be the match. XXXMity out of the tournament all 3 commentators proved correct, and we'll see you back in the studio in just a few seconds.
Just a few seconds. After a few seconds.
In just a few more seconds. We've got a couple seconds going here. Eventually, we'll go back in a second.